Hi students, and welcome to video number 5 in the acidic environment series, and this is really the last one that we're looking at in this kind of subsection on indicators and how they are used. I'm hoping that this particular video will be less important to you than perhaps some of the others, as you will actually use some class time to identify a range of common household substances and get a little printout for yourself of the acidic, neutral or basic nature of many of those substances. But let's just have a little bit of a look anyway. All around the house, in the kitchen, in the laundry, bathrooms, different types of substances, some of which are acidic and some of which are basic. Others, of course, like the water's coming out of the tap, hopefully, are neutral. These are very important as they have different types of jobs, and because of the nature of acids and bases, they have properties that we use or we desire in certain types of situations. We now know that we can use different indicators to test substances. In fact, hopefully by now you've also made a natural indicator, something out of red cabbage or tea leaves, in order to identify the changes that can occur in substances when you add acids and bases to them, and also to use those natural indicators to work backwards and identify which substances around your home are acidic, basic or neutral. A couple of general things. Firstly, most cleaning substances tend to be alkaline or basic. The soapy, slippery feel of those makes them ideal for cleaning. Also, some of them are very caustic or corrosive, which means you often have to take care with them. If you're cleaning ovens, for example, there's often a lot of warnings about wearing gloves and not exposing yourself to the fumes, making sure that you put newspaper or stuff down to protect floors and things like that, because they do a very good job of cleaning. On the other hand, acids are more likely to be used in things like food preservation. So we know that certain microorganisms like a very narrow pH range in which to live. So if we change that pH range by something that is still going to allow us to consume the food, but will be just slightly off the pH range, the desired pH range of the microorganisms, then we can actually restrict their growth or inhibit their growth and prolong the time over which the food stays fresh. And sometimes we use acids as flavorings. So we know that they have a bit of a sour taste, and people love to cook things like vinegar or put it on your chips. Citric acid, which is one of the natural acids that we can take in, particularly with a lot of citrus fruits, and also tartaric acid is often used in cooking and helping things rise. So a couple of places where you might want to test. An aquarium is obviously one of the most important places. If you keep fish, you want to make sure they're in an environment that is conducive to good growth and survival. So we need to keep testing our aquaria regularly in order to make sure that they are at the desired pH levels. And I've talked in a previous video also about swimming pools, which likewise need to be tested on a regular basis. Soils are also important, and we will be sort of carrying out some soil testing ourselves at school, and I hope you have the opportunity to have a look at that. But there are certain types of plants that grow better in slightly acidic soils and others that prefer slightly alkaline soils. And sometimes just by testing the soil pH, you can get a sense of whether the plants are struggling a little bit because maybe they're in an environment that is not their preferred or optimal one. Now, the thing with soils, of course, is that if we do find that they're not the optimal conditions for the particular plants that we're trying to grow, then we can actually change the nature of the soils by adding particular things. So if we find that it's too acidic, then we can add basic substances. Usually that's going to be dolomite or crushed calcium carbonate, which is going to neutralize the acids. If they're too basic, then some of the fertilizers often contain different types of acids. Ammonia, sulfate of ammonia is one of the most common ones, and we'll see why ammonia is such a good acid later on. But also any composting materials, sometimes iron-based compounds can also shift that as well. This is kind of the general testing that you would do if you wanted to test your soil pH. And again, hopefully you'll have a chance to do this in class. But you can see what happens is the soil is very dark. So what we have to do first of all is we put something that will help us to see the color of the indicator without actually affecting the pH at all. So we sprinkle a little bit of barium sulfate, which is a white powder, on, and then we'll add a few drops of the universal indicator in. That will sort of soak through. The barium will not affect the pH of the solution, and hopefully then we'll be able to see just by color matching exactly what the pH of our soil is. But yeah, as I say, you should get a chance to have a look at that in class. Excuse me. Thanks for watching.